And the video that you're about to see is a video that I made for another website. They asked me to create a special video just for them, and now I want to share it with you. Some of you guys who already picked up the Fronos Photo Beginner Guide are going to recognize this photo shoot. It's a photo shoot that I did in a park on a playground with a kid. I believe he was 6 at the time, and I was using a Nikon D3100 and 70-300 VR, so a pretty basic setup. So what we're going to do, you're going to see in the video that I run down all of the, well, it's a lot of photos, not all of them, but I don't just show you the best and the keepers, I show you ones that maybe missed or why they missed, and I explain to you in detail all of the information behind these photos, how I captured it, what I could have done to do better, and so it's going to be a pretty good detailed video for you to watch. If you are interested in picking up the Fronos Photo Beginner Guide, it is currently on sale right now, and that sale is going to end on October 31st. It will include this photo shoot as well as 3 other photo shoots, but you can get all the information down below. And don't forget, there is a contest going on to give away a Nikon D600 or exclusive video for you guys at Digital Photography School. And what it is, I'm going to go through a photo shoot that I did not too long ago with very basic gear, a Nikon D3100 and a 70-300 zoom, photographing a kid playing in the park. What I'm going to try and do is show you some of the keepers as well as some of the images that may not have quite made it. But I'm going to talk about focusing modes, how I got my settings right, pretty much how I did the whole thing in manual without being in auto. Because I think it's really important to jump out of those auto settings and get into manual and unlock the power of what your digital SLR can give you. Because I think that you have the ability to switch over into manual without a problem and get it pretty quick. So let's take a look at some of these images. Now what you're seeing here is not really a keeper. Now a shot like this is good to get a basic starting point. As you can see, my settings are pretty close. Let me switch over to the settings tab. Develop here, and we can see 1/320th of a second at 4.5, ISO 800. Okay, there we go. Right off the bat, I'm not afraid to get into ISO 800 even in the basic beginner camera. 800 ISO outside is going to be perfectly fine. The reason I started with a higher ISO is because kids like to run around. And when kids run around, you need to have a faster shutter speed to freeze their motion. Because slower shutter speeds, they're going to blur, and then that image may not be usable. So here we go. Focus mode on something like this would be either continuous or single, but I'll get to that as we move forward. But yeah, this is not a keeper shot. Now the composition isn't bad, but there's no connection with the camera. His eyes are not looking at me, which makes that not a keeper. Now this shot, I wouldn't call it a keeper either because I cut his hands off. You know, he's moving quickly. I've got to anticipate what's going on. I'm probably in continuous focus, trying to focus right here on his eye. And that's sharp. You can see that's tack sharp, 1/1000th of a second at 4.8. So what I'm doing here is I'm shooting in manual. I'm in manual. I'm setting my settings because I know the light isn't going to change very much in the couple of minutes, maybe the 15-20 minutes that we're actually doing a photo shoot. Into this free hockey tutorial video, I want to remind you that the Fronos Photo Beginner Guide, Go Above and Beyond Auto, is available on FronosPhoto.com/guide. People have been telling me that after watching this, they just want to go out and shoot, and they feel confident that they no longer need to be tied down by auto, and they switch into their manual settings, and they take full control of their camera, and are very confident to go out there and capture amazing images. So if you want to hear more about that guide, it's a 3-hour-long video guide that I think it's much better than a college class. A lot of people have been telling me that as well, that they've learned more from this 3-hour video than they learned from their college photography classes. You have a minor league hockey team, baseball team, soccer team, lacrosse team. If you have any type of minor league franchise in your area, give them a call. Tell them that you would like to come in and photograph, and in exchange for the passes, you will give them some usage rights to the images to use online. Because most likely they're not going to want to pay for these type of images. There's not a lot of money involved with minor league sports, but it's a great way for you to learn and get involved and meet people. Some of these players may end up in the NHL one day, if there still is an NHL at some point. So what am I going to do today? Well, I'm going to walk around. I'm going to try to find the right areas to shoot. There are no photo holes today. I looked around. There's no holes in the glass. When you get into the pro arenas, there's holes in the glass, but there are none here. it is what it is. So you have to shoot through the glass. You have to find a clean piece of glass to shoot from. Oh yeah, let me get my stool. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. CVS sells these bad boys. This is good to carry with you because you need to sit on this in between the rows because you will not have a seat when you're shooting. This will get you at the right level when you're sitting to shoot through the glass. So I'm going to go into different areas because I'm looking for action shots. I'm looking for tight shots of the players skating, and overall, if we got some fights, I'm going to shoot some of the fights. So settings-wise, it's going to get bright in here. Right now, they don't have all the lights on, but when pregame skate comes up, they'll get the lights on. I'll test it out there and be ready to go when the game starts. I'm thinking I'm going to shoot with the D4. I probably won't shoot with the D600 tonight. I just want to feel it out for my first time shooting in this arena. So, really, that's about it. Are they turning the lights on yet? Nope, still not. So we're going to turn around to the camera in between each period, talk to you about what I'm finding, types of techniques I'm using, and we'll do that, and that's about it. Whoa, get it. That's a puck just went over the glass. You have to be careful about pucks going over the glass. But I found a spot where I want to sit and shoot because this is going to give me a good angle on the goalie and where the action is in front of the net. That's what's important when it comes to shooting hockey, is the action in front of the net. You know where things are going to happen. So if I focus in around the goalie, there's usually a defender. There's usually a defender cross-checking a guy who's going to the net, who's trying to pick up the trash. That's where you want to be. So this is a pregame skate. I've locked my settings in. That's a good thing. I'm shooting with the D4, got my black rapid on, have the first-person shooter camera on so that you can see what I'm shooting when I'm shooting it. And really, don't forget, there's other things going on other than the hockey going on the ice. There's actually a kid here, and I was photographing him because the reflection was really awesome in the glass. He was basically looking, reflection, bouncing back. A great boot camp. So far, the boot camps that we've done around the world have been amazing. They're 8 to 10 hours of just nonstop learning. You not only get to learn from myself and Adam Lerner, but you get to learn from everybody else who's there because they're asking great questions. And the questions that they have, you're going to have probably the same questions, and everything leads to something else. And when you can learn in an environment like this, where you've got two professional photographers, you've got people willing and ready to learn, not only do we sit in the classroom, not for long, but we get outside and we shoot. The whole point is to get out and shoot. We did that in Manchester. We did that in London. We did it in Philly. When you get out to shoot, we get to put everything into practice that we're learning so that it's real-world learning. That is how I like to teach. That is how I personally like to learn. So